Right, so we are going to be building a snake game this time around, but I'm not going to show you how to implement all the methods. It's going to be up to you. So here's the game. I'll show it to you first. And there are a couple different variants. Variant 1 is like, these buttons should probably be reversed. The classic, you can run into walls. So you see, you die if you run into walls. With Variant 1, you can go right through the walls. So it actually produces a little bit of an interesting, well, variation in gameplay. But you die if you hit your tail. So let's see if I can hit this thing a couple times so you can see me hit my tail. So that's the way to die with Variant 1. Alright, so the shell of this game is very similar to what we've done in the past. So it's set up for you, the main class. What the main class does is it just creates a window, adds the game panel, which is where our game will be played, and the main class, or the most substantive class. Then just sets some basic attributes of the window, and it calls the panel.playGame to start the game. The panel is not really done for you. Some basic stuff is in there. I set up the image, so it's drawing an image. There are the necessary listeners. We have one mouse listener so that you can click on the buttons, and then the key listener. And then there's some basic game loop stuff. But your job is going to be to create all the entities and all the additional fields. This is the constructor. Now, these two lines are necessary these make the game panel key listener work. These are necessary to make the key listener work. Because the panel has to have focus, which just means like the computer knows it's the active thing when it's up there. So I don't exactly understand the back end. Anyway, these two lines make the panel focusable, and it asks for focus, which means like, hey, I'm active. So that's why those two lines are in there, and then just initializes stuff. Then down here, this is the init method where we're just initializing various things. I like adding helper methods to make the constructor very clean and concise. Some people do like that, some people don't. So these are the fields that I created up top, and I initialized them for you. And then here, you're going to add any fields that you include in your game. You have to initialize those here. The play game method is done. You shouldn't have to do anything for that, but it does have like this basic three method loop, and it has a timer which you can read about, but you're not required to read about it. So it updates all the elements, it creates the image in memory, and then it repaints the panel with the current image, which is what we've been doing for a while. So I'm just going to minimize this method, so you can click plus or minus to minimize, or get a preview if you hover over plus. So then there are a bunch of other methods that you're going to be editing as you go. You don't really have to do anything with these right now at the beginning, but just know that we have an update method and then a check collisions method, which sees if the snake either hits a wall or hits its tail or hits the goal. Those are the three collisions we're concerned with. And then there's a method that creates the image in memory. This is where you're going to call like the snake.draw and stuff. This is a method to draw buttons, draw entities. Oh, actually, the entities will all be drawn and draw entities. This is the main draw method to create image in memory, and it's going to call all these draw buttons, draw entities, draw walls, draw background. I wanted to split these out just for clarity of what this create image in memory thing is doing, because there are going to be some if statements in here. And the paint component method you don't ever have to do anything with. It's set up completely. The listeners we will change little by little to make sure that they're doing the key pressed and key release stuff. And we will be using mouse pressed also. That'll be our like the way we press the button. So that's just kind of an overview. The first thing that you're going to be doing is making the goal object show up. That's the little circle that pops up. You know, when you run the game, there are a couple different elements, right? There's this circle, there's a HUD that maintains the score, and then there's a snake object and two button objects at any given point. So if we start variant 1, all you're going to do initially is have this thing pop up on the screen, and when you run the program, the goal will pop up in different locations, and that's going to be in the next video.